Day 1095. That's how long he'd been in here. 3 years, 4 months, and 12 days. Stickman hadn't committed the crime they locked him up for, but nobody believed him, and nobody was coming to save him, so he decided he'd save himself. Every night after the lights went out, he'd stare at the ceiling and think. He memorized every guard rotation, every camera blind spot, every crack in every wall. He didn't have much, but he had time and a plan. 2 guards, big ones. They did the same route every single night like clockwork. Left corridor at 11, right corridor at 11:15, break room at 11:30. That was his window. 30 minutes, it wasn't much, but it was enough. It started with a spoon, a stupid little plastic spoon from the cafeteria. He'd been scraping at the back wall for 6 weeks. His fingers were raw, his wrist ached, but every night the hole got a little bigger, and every night freedom got a little closer. Every morning before sunrise, he'd push his bed back against the wall, hide the dust, dispose of the debris piece by piece through the drain in his floor. One wrong move and it was over. They'd throw him in solitary so fast his head would spin. He couldn't afford to slip up, not once. Then one night a tap came from the wall, 3 knocks, then 2, he froze. Was it a guard, a trap? He waited. Then 3 knocks again. Slowly he knocked back. That's how he met Slim, the stickman in the next cell. Slim had been in here longer than anyone, and he knew things, useful things. Together they refined the plan. Slim knew about a vent above the east corridor that connected straight to the outer wall. He knew the guards took exactly 4 minutes longer on Fridays because of shift handover. It was Friday tomorrow. This was their shot. The night finally came. 11:02 p.m. The corridor lights clicked off one by one. His heart was hammering so hard he was sure someone could hear it. He slid out from under his blanket, pressed his ear to the door. Silence. This was it, no turning back. The vent was smaller than he remembered. He pulled himself through inch by inch, elbows scraping against cold metal, dust in his eyes, cobwebs in his face. Every sound he made felt like an explosion in the silence. Just keep moving. Don't stop. Don't look back. He dropped out of the vent and hit the floor hard, too loud. He pressed himself flat against the wall, footsteps, getting closer. A flashlight beam swept across the floor just inches from his feet. He held his breath. The guard stopped, looked around, then walked on. Stickman let out the slowest, quietest breath of his life. He made it to the outer corridor. The fence was right there. He could see it through the window. 20 feet of chain link and barbed wire standing between him and everything he'd been dreaming about for over 3 years. He started to move. Then the alarm screamed. Red lights flooded every hallway. A sensor, a door he'd miscounted. His stomach dropped. Every guard in the building was now awake, and every single one of them was looking for him. He ran, faster than he'd ever run in his life. Guards behind him and closing fast. He skidded around a corner, nearly slipped, caught himself on the wall and kept going. His lungs were burning. His legs were screaming, but he didn't stop. He burst through a door into the yard and froze. 6 guards, all facing him. Flashlight beams pinned him to the spot like a bug under glass. He looked left, looked right. Nowhere to go. It was over. It was all over. Then a rock sailed through the air from somewhere behind the guards and smashed clean through a window on the far side of the yard. Every single guard spun around. And in that 1 second of chaos, Slim's voice cut through the noise from somewhere in the dark. Go. Now. He moved, straight for the fence. He hit it running and climbed like his life depended on it, because it did. Barbed wire tore at his hands. He didn't feel it. He threw himself over the top and dropped hard on the other side, hit the ground rolling, scrambled to his feet and kept going without looking back. The sewer grate was exactly where Slim said it would be. He yanked it open and dropped in. Cold water hit him like a wall, dark, narrow. He didn't care. He pushed forward through the black water, one arm in front of him, following the current, following the faint glow ahead. And then he was through. He burst up through the surface on the other side of the prison wall, gasping, soaked, bleeding from his hands, laughing, actually laughing. He pulled himself up onto the bank and looked back at the prison in the distance, lights still flashing, sirens still wailing. And he ran. Across the open field, through the cold night air, toward the tree line and beyond. He ran until the sirens faded, until the lights disappeared behind the hills, until there was nothing behind him but darkness and nothing ahead of him but open road. He stopped at the top of a hill as the sky started to turn orange, sat down in the wet grass, caught his breath for the first time in what felt like years. The sun was coming up, slow and steady, painting the whole world gold. 3 years, 4 months, 12 days, and it was over. He was free.